国现在真的是世界上生活最舒适的国家，没有之一。
本当に中国を愛する外国人たちみたいですね。こういう映像が上がると爆発的な再生数は当たり前。コメントが数百数千とつきます。
China is the best country in the entire world! I love China so much! First off, Mandarin is amazing. Second off, the Chinese Communist Party, yes, communist is the best government in the entire world. Most transparent government in the entire world. The cuisine is amazing. The Great Wall of China is the best tourist destination in the entire world. So much history in China. China, I love China so much.
それで今回はある中国人 YouTuber がイギリスの街頭で大国の威厳を誇示しようととてもシンプルな質問をします。アジアの国の中でどの国に一番行きたいですかというものですが、おそらくこれは期待していた答えじゃなかったでしょう。
If you guys could hop on a plane to visit any Asian country, which one would it be?
Personally, I'd love to visit Japan, specifically Osaka. I'm just completely drawn to it. It's just lovely in my opinion.
It'd be Japan. Japan's very high on our list. We heard streets are awesome to walk, very beautiful, great food, awesome culture.
If you guys hop on a plane to visit any Asian country, which one would it be?
I would probably say Japan because it's got a very vibrant nightlife. But you?
I'd probably say the same.
I'd say Japan, definitely.
What track do you think?
I really like Japanese food for a start. I'm a big fan of sushi. Secondly, it's a really technologically advanced country. It looks really cool, like the trains and stuff. So I definitely want to check out Japan.
Gotta check.
Definitely on my to-do list is Japan and Thailand.
Mine would be Japan. My grandparents have gone there. Grandparents' favorite country other than the US. It's pretty and a bunch of the areas, great food.
再生数もまた散々な結果ですし、おそらく中国に行きたい、日本には行きたくない国として答えてくれることを期待していたんでしょうが、世界中の人も今ではどこに行けば良い旅行ができるかよくわかっています。それでこの YouTuber は質問を少し変えます。中国に旅行に来た外国人たちならもっと良い答えがもらえるんじゃないかと、そして中国国内の外国人たちに中国に来て良かった点は何かを聞きます。
What was your biggest culture shock when you first got here?
The spitting in the ground. I was on the train and all guys spitting next to my food. I smoke. I saw it on the wall. I did not smoke, but then I saw people smoking everywhere.
Other people take pictures of me without asking, and that really pissed me off because I'm not an animal. It's not a problem. I just asked to me.
I think maybe the fact that not many people speak English.
When we're crossing the road, the motorbikes cross by you, and we're not used to that. The smell of some things is like really hard for us because we're used to like no condiments at all.
To have your passport for everything. Really check your ID a lot.
Also that I cannot communicate with my family in the applications that we use.
People doing like the and then spitting. No one does that in the Netherlands. It's not very nice. It's pretty laughable. Although you get used to it. The first time we heard that was like, huh? What?
でもこれもまたあまり望んだ結果ではなかったようです。しかしこの YouTuber はそれでも良心的にありのままをアップロードしました。やらせっぽい回答をする他のインタビューとは違ってですね。そうしている中、中国で7年間英語教師として働いていた外国人が中国について感じたことを話します。
If you ever plan on visiting China, or if you ever live here, you're gonna have to get used to people staring at you and people looking at you differently, especially when you're walking around the park with a camera. And if you've ever come here, or if you've ever lived here, you'll know this part extensively because it doesn't take long until you realize people love to just spit here. Now, as a generalization, and from what I've seen, it's normally the older generation, but when I say spit, they really hack up. In fact, you're just missing it here, but that guy literally just spat on the ground. And what they'll do is they go like, and then they will spit. They will like try and get a demon from inside of their chest. And, you know, in broad public, and there actually has to be signs on public transport that is like, please don't spit in public. And especially after this pandemic, you will have to get used to, and I'm sure you will definitely see someone hocking up a lung, like proper spitting onto the floor, and like, oh, it's just disgusting. It's so gross. When it comes to any public spaces, especially like the metro, normally at the metro, you'll wait for the cars to stop and the doors to open, and then you let the people off, and then the people that want to go on, go on. In China, that's different. Basically, as soon as the doors open, people are going to be, not everyone, but there's going to be some people that just jump in as the wave of people are coming out. They're going through the center. Like they just have no consideration for other people. The second thing that annoys me most about China is there's a lack of a queuing culture. So when I first came and I would go to a restaurant or maybe a fast food place, I would stand there and I would be waiting for my turn, you know. But little did I know that you have to basically get right up to the counter and you have to push past people This even happens in train stations. People will just push past you trying to get to the front. It's something as a British person that really annoys me. Maybe other people don't get annoyed so much by it, but as a British person, we love queuing. It's not even that we love queuing, but we understand when there's a queue, you abide by those queue's rules. If you come to China, you have to get used to there being a very relaxed queuing system. But I remember when I first came and I was on the metro and I would just see people staring at me. You know, in Western countries, it's very rude to stare, right? But what I'd see is just the Chinese people staring at me on the metro. You know, I had been told by people that had already lived here that they're more curious at you than anything. So you have to get used to the stares if you ever visit China, especially if you're a foreigner. If you're black or dark-skinned, then you're probably going to notice this a lot more because Chinese people are even more curious about dark-skinned and black people as opposed to white people. When COVID happened, this is when it really started to annoy me because what they will do is they will single out foreigners because they think that we all have the virus. Now, of course, when the virus started, when the pandemic started, in their news, it would always say that all of the cases from China after the initial outbreak were from foreigners coming in, when in reality, it was actually from a lot of overseas Chinese people coming back into the country. So what this means is anytime you're at a checkpoint or you're going into a mall, less so nowadays, but the Baoans or the security people would always look at you and be like, we need to see your health code. Where did you come from? What country did you come from? So the final thing that annoys me about China is that they can be very direct about certain things, but very indirect about others. For example, if you're overweight, or if you are different in any way, they're going to say, oh, you're fat. They're very good at pointing out physical issues with you.
Now, there are a couple reasons why Chinese people travel in groups like this. The first one is that it's much cheaper. So it's cheaper for them to join one of these tour groups and travel to other countries. Not only do they get a tour guide that shows them around, it also means that they won't have to rely on speaking English in these foreign countries. Most countries where you go traveling, they use English as like a second language for tourists. Most of these people now that are traveling outside of China, they've never had this experience before in their life. There is a large middle class now here in China, which means that traveling has become an option for a lot of these Chinese people where they wouldn't have had this option before. So they go in groups together and they stay together, which I think is one of the problems. In groups of Chinese people, when they go traveling, they rarely break away from their circle. So they lack the learning experience of being immersed in a new culture, speaking to the locals, eating local cuisine, traveling with the locals. Basically, they never branch away from this Chinese circle. So the way that they act in China, they take that to other countries. So for us, we can label their actions as rude, but they themselves may not consider these actions rude. And I think it's important to consider the history of this group of people in China. The people that are 50 plus years old, they come from a very different China than the one we see today. They come from a time where it was very difficult to live. There was famine. The country was much, much poorer than it is now. They wouldn't have had this opportunity to travel. Growing up with their local ways, perhaps defecating on the street was not considered rude as most people did it. Or spitting on the ground was not considered rude as most people did it. Or pushing in line was not considered rude as that was the way that it happened in the places that they came from. Now, there's an old saying, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. I think this sticks for these older generation of Chinese travelers. So for others, when they look at them, they would consider them rude as they don't wait in line, they're loud, they do what they want. But back in China, they actually are the same. Although in China, it's not considered rude as much as we would consider it.